Okay, so yeah, the last 5 years completely derailed me, but I believe I've learned enough about, my new normal. I've healed enough from, I mean, I haven't had a seizure in ages. And so, have I been struggling to write still? Yes. I mean, it's been absolutely torturing me since October or September, because, I was trying to write to my eldest for her birthday and everything. And, I mean, I've probably been able to write maybe 8 3x5 cards in the last 6 months. And, I managed a short letter. And I mean, it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And handwriting is my preference. I would prefer to write I have written an entire manuscript by hand and then, transfer it um, to typeset and everything. But, or whatever they call it these days. Anyway, I, but I think, I've been practicing using the tablet more and using my phone more in various ways. Um, but just the way that I went off and continued with this thread, it really shows that, I may not be able to every day, but it's time. It's time. I'm ready enough. And then the other person saying that, what I wrote was like a textbook, thinking they were being insulting, or at least that's the tone I took from their sentence structure. But um, with the way that my brain has struggled the last 5 years, that's a compliment. That's I know that they're not accurate in their assessment because I know I didn't pull it together properly enough for. But even when I was a child, I would notice typos and grammatical errors and punctuation issues in textbooks. So anyway, I'm getting distracted again. The point is that it's time. Oh my gosh. You know, I don't know what I'll write. I have always had a bigger scope than was really wise and applicable to real life and my physical capacities. So so I think I'm just gonna start where they suggested, just compiling, you know, my experiences and passion. And the best way I can think to do that is just to start year by year. And, whatever years have multiple, memories and stuff, then break it down to a month by month. And if I can't remember exactly when or whatever, then, separate that into a different space and, reintegrate it later the best of my capacity. But I think that I go year by year. Um, I think I can get somewhere. I It's amazing how novel this feels, even though I know that but no, this is pretty brand new. It's been a long time since I've had any real confidence in my capacity to write, to express my feelings in decent sentence structures, to separate it out paragraph by paragraph. You know, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. And I loved writing so much. And so, part of the reason I admit that I haven't, attempted to get back on the wagon, so to speak, is because emotionally it was so devastating. To go from writing, 3 to 8 hours a day to having seizures, hundreds of seizures in a day, and having the medical community want it all to be emotional and act as if I'm just fucking crazy. Oh, my dear God above, and Gaia below. What an adventure it has been. What a, and literally and honestly in the last 5 years, these many months of respite here. I mean, I was going out once a week and working hard to get things in place when I moved here. But after that situation happened with, going out or trying to make it out on set in Ogden, that just changed everything. And I mean, that night can make an entire movie just in and of itself. But anyway, and then the day that my mom came to visit, and we were out too long because I just was desperate to get a haircut, and since then have gone back to cutting my own hair and not even giving a crap that I'm doing a really shoddy job. But I don't regret it. It was so nice to be in a barbershop again. It was so, so nice. And, it was lovely that it was a classy space. And it had been quite a while since I'd been in such a classy space. So I don't regret that day, but it did. It altered the trajectory of my winter. And I spent it resting, thinking that I would recuperate, discovering that I'm not able to yet. There's no recuperation here available for me. And then just recently finding out that even though I have steady, rent, which I thought was the most important factor, that I still need to move. It just I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that, with all that I've been through the last 5 years, all the upheaval and the physical pain and the mental struggles to even, communicate and manage my mouth, and how much effort and energy I have had to put into just making sure that I have enough wrist strength to eat and, take care of my own body so I don't get stuck in a situation where some random stranger is, showering me and all that shit. Like, of course I didn't feel, ready and capable, to really express myself with words again. And, again, going back to it being my preference to write in physical form. But, I haven't had my preferences for a long time. It's time for me to adapt to doing it, on my tablet or whatever to storing it on a jump drive, thumb drive, whatever. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It doesn't flow as easily. But this thread, I mean, maybe it's best that it doesn't flow as easily. I used to be so cerebral and non-emotional and just observant and concise, and I'm not that anymore. I wow, boy, jeepers, do I have emotions. And my stream of consciousness is is quite the overpowering thing. So maybe it's best that I now need to tap it into a tablet or whatever. Maybe, I mean, I'm just going to take that view that this is best. This is what I need to do is tap my thoughts into a black rectangle and trust, just trust.